Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Bottini, and we will be going over how to collect, sort, and graph data for my Week 3 assignment teaching a math concept. So here is our objective for the lesson we will be going over today. Students will be able to identify how many total data points are in a data set within a graph. Students will learn to take raw data, separate it into 3 categories, and graph it. Based on the data graph, students will also be able to identify how many data points are in each category. Here is the big picture idea to keep in mind as I review and introduce some new concepts today. The big idea here is to collect data on our class and keep in mind what this data represents as we put it into a graph. So how do we do that? Let's review. We have looked at how we make graphs and how we can use these graphs to help us understand things about our data. Now we are going to take raw data and make a graph reflecting this data after we have sorted and counted it. This graph will tell us about our sorted categories as well as help us see the total number of people who voted in our class. Why learn about graphs? Graphs are important because they help us understand information quickly. Graphs are like pictures that help us explain what we are learning about the questions we seek answers to. The question I have this week is, what is your favorite holiday? So yesterday, our entire class voted on their favorite holiday out of Christmas, birthdays, or Halloween. With this collected data, I will sort it, count it, and graph it. This graph will help us figure out our class's number 1, number 2, and number 3 favorite holiday. Again, yesterday's survey question was, what is your favorite holiday between Christmas, birthday, or Halloween? Each vote is represented in a picture: a scary pumpkin for Halloween, a Christmas tree for Christmas, and a birthday cake for birthdays. Now that we have collected and recorded our data, I will graph the findings, but first I have to sort into categories and count it before I can graph it. So I have totaled up my votes for each holiday here and have written them in my bar graph. Next, I recorded the specific votes for each holiday as a pictograph. Each holiday is color-coded, and the number of votes per holiday are here, matching its color. So we've got 9 votes for Halloween, 8 votes for birthday, and 7 votes for Christmas. Here my graph has each vote represented as the holiday symbol we already discussed and totaled at the bottom. Now, using the same data for a different graph, we will further reflect on why we separated the data into categories and then put them into columns. How can we use this new graph to help us figure out how many people voted total? Will we be using an addition or a subtraction sign when figuring out how many people voted? Now that we have done a graph together, tomorrow we will be sorting, recording, and graphing data from another first grade class who has already voted for the same question, and you will sort this data into categories just as we just did, then record the total number in each category. And finally, you will graph these categories using the same procedures I demonstrated for you here today. Each of you will be expected to explain to a partner how you found the total number of data points per category after you have finished your graph. See you tomorrow.